Did you get excited thinking it wasn't me today? That maybe there was going to be a special guest? Hey, I'm up for anything. If somebody wants to come be a special guest and keep their 6 feet of distance, they're more than welcome to. All right, but for now, you're stuck with this guy. And you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, he's wearing the same exact shirt, 3rd day in a row. Ew, disgusting. Remember, I'm pre-recording these, so it just so happens I decided to record 3 in one day. Trust me, I take a shower every day. You're all good. And needless to say, you can't smell it from there anyways, right? So it's all good. Okay, let's get started on yesterday's exit ticket response. So yesterday was day 8. You had 3 3/10 times 8/10. Okay, so 33 tenths is the fraction you would have came up with, times 8/10 would have given you 264 over 100. Here is how I came up with 264. Now the 100 means I need to shift twice, so I'm going to shift it twice. So 264, 2 shifts, 1, 2, gives me 2 and 64 hundredths. All right, so day 9, it's Friday. Let's get rocking and rolling. Okay. Bam. Day 9. The I do. Mr. Brislin, do I see a decimal there? You got it. We are dividing by decimals today. Not multiplying by decimals, but dividing by decimals. Dun 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 dun. Nah, it's not gonna be that scary. Don't worry. It's all good. Okay, so here's how we're gonna do this. All right, Mr. Brislin, do I need to change this into a like a fraction? No. I'm gonna make it easier than that even. Easier than that. So here we are. We're going to use our long division to help solve this problem. So we're doing 2 4/10 divided by 8/10. So let's set this up. The most important thing you could do right now is make sure it's set up correctly. Decimals are all where they need to be. So let's just take a look. Yep, decimal. Yep, decimal. Okay. Now, here's the fun part. And you'll be like, wow, it's that easy, Mr. Brislin? It's that easy. Okay? Here we go. We got 1 decimal place here, right? And 1 here. 1 and 1. Guess what you get to do? You get to do some shifting of decimals. Oh, get excited. So that decimal place is going to shift 1 time over. And this decimal place is going to shift 1 time over. And no longer do you even have a decimal to worry about anymore. Because technically, now we have this as our expression. 24 divided by 8. And any parents who are watching this with you saying, oh, finally, Mr. Brislin is showing a strategy that I get. Because that's what I do. You got it. All right? So now we have 24 divided by 8, and we end up finding out there's 3 8s that go into it with nothing left over. So our answer is 3. That's it. Boom. We're done. So now let's get some practicing done. So I'll set it up for you, and I'm going to have you take over from there. So we have 4 8/10 divided by 6/10. Go ahead and do the shift. Hit the pause button now. All right, so I hope that you were able to shift. This guy shifted over 1 time. This guy shifted over 1 time. So, Mr. Brislin, how do I know how many times to shift over here? However many times you shifted here, you shift here. All right? So now we just have the number 6 going into 48, or 48 divided by 6. Well, 6 times tables here, boys and girls. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. Ooh. How many times did it take me to get to 48? 7 times. No. Gotcha. 8 times. Some of you were saying, well, Mr. Prison, I had 8. What? Huh? And you double thought yourself. You were like, wait a second, was I wrong? Or were you being so confident that you knew that I made the mistake? Confidence is key. All right. Number 2, give it a shot. 8 4/10 divided by 7/10. Hit the pause button and do that now. Did I stump anybody this time? Because once you shifted, you said, wait a second, 7 goes into 84? It's past 70. Yes, you're right. So you could do 7 goes into 8 first, subtract that 7, because 1 times 7 equals 7, get a 1, bring down the 4, now you have 14. And 7 goes into 14 2 times. Unless you know your 12 times tables and realize that 12 times 7 equals 84. So therefore your answer is 12. Last but not least, wow, Mr. Brisson, this is like the fastest class we've had yet. Well, it is Friday, so I'm going to give you a shortened class here. That, or you're just doing so awesome that I get to shorten class today. You decide. So here we go. 2 4/10 divided by 8 hundredths. Ooh. Did I stump you? Go ahead and do that now. All right, so hopefully you got this set up down. Now, we have to realize, I'm going to show you this. If there's 2 shifts here, this decimal needs to shift over 2 spots. 1, 2. Well, what goes there? The imaginary 0 that was in the 10th place now moves over to the 1's place. And now I'm going to figure out what 8, how many times 8 goes into 240. Goes into 24 3 times. Bring down this 0. 8 goes into 0 0 times, obviously. Now you get the answer of 30. All right, so now is the time for you to do 2 exit ticket problems. You're going to have one that looks like these 2 and one that's similar to this one. Okay, so take your time, think it through. If you want to go back as to how slow motion, how I did question number 3 before doing the exit ticket, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay, here are your 2 exit ticket questions. They look pretty similar, but the answers are different. So keep that in mind. If you come up with the same answer for both of them, you made a mistake somewhere. All right, best of luck, and we'll see you back here next week. Have a wonderful weekend.